For the fires of West Maui is falling upon Hawaiian Electric, who knew as early as 4 years ago that there was a risk of fire due to their own negligence in maintaining power lines, but they did nothing. Hawaiian Electric, who is owned by Vanguard and BlackRock, has been shifting their focus to clean energy, and in order to build back better, the old system must first be destroyed, and so the power was left on to feed the flames. The warning system on Maui is one of the most advanced and maintained warning systems on Earth. Residents are accustomed to monthly tests, but on the day of the fire, no sirens went off. There were no warnings. The director in charge of this warning system was at a FEMA disaster seminar in Oahu as the fires were devastating the people of Maui.
According to documents obtained by H&N Investigates, Ndaya was in Waikiki at the Alohalani Resort attending what was scheduled to be a 3-day FEMA disaster preparedness seminar called the Pacific Partnership Meeting. A receipt from the hotel shows Ndaya checked in last Monday, a day before the fire started. That same receipt lists a departure date of Wednesday, August 9th, the morning after flames reduced Lahina town to ash. According to Tuesday's agenda, the day wrapped up with a networking reception at the hotel's Longboard Club from 5 to 7 that evening. At the same time, people were running for their lives, trying to escape flames that engulfed the town.
When asked if he regretted not sounding the alarm, he said no, because he was worried that the people would run into the fire.
Do you regret not sounding the sirens?
I do not. Had we sounded the siren that night, we're afraid that people would have gone Malka. And if that was the case, then they would have gone into the fire.
But instead, they burned to death at home, including an untold number of children who were home alone that morning because of a school cancellation. The water wasn't on, fire hydrants were dry, and the deputy director of water resource management, who was named an Obama Foundation leader, refused to release water for the West Maui fires until it was too late. He says that in order to share water, Hawaiians need to discuss equity.
Really, my motto is always like, let water connect us and not divide us. Like we can share it, but it requires true conversations about equity.
Without any warnings and without any water, the people tried to flee, but they were stopped by the police, who had orders to keep people from escaping.
I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm under orders to keep them here. And I said, the fire is right around Safeway. It's going to hit Front Street, and these people got to get out of here. And he said, I'm following orders. No way. And so I just kept walking. Well, maybe he knows something I don't.
The Maui chief of police was the incident officer at one of the biggest cover-up operations in U.S. history, the 2017 Las Vegas.
No comment.
No comment right now, guys.
No comment? I'm talking to the chief, sir. Yeah. Why doesn't he want to speak to the people? Only to a camera.
Residents are not allowed to leave unless they get a permission slip from the federal government. But the government recently decided to shut that option down.
Hey, I just been informed that we are shutting down this placard distribution as of now.
While the fires burned, a book was published about the entire event. The book blamed climate change and was written by a Dr. Miles Stones. The definition of milestone is an action or event marking a significant change or stage in development. Hawaii is being usurped by the same billionaires pushing for the World Economic Forum's Great Reset. They have been planning on turning Maui into a test bed for their artificial intelligence smart grid. But the people were in their way, so they burned them out. Maui will either be a major milestone for the ruling class or a line in the sand for we the people. The federal government offers a one-time payment of $700 to each family that has lost their home. And the governor of Hawaii tells reporters that the state plans on acquiring the land.
I'm already thinking about ways for the state to acquire that land, for the state to acquire that land, for the state to acquire that land, so that we can put it into workforce housing, to put it back into families, or to make it open spaces in perpetuity as a memorial to people who were lost.
And if it wasn't for the local community, the survivors would be left alone in the ashes of their neighbors.
Oh my goodness, look at this report real quick. Now it makes sense why they went after Hawaii. A treaty of annexation was never signed between the Hawaiian Kingdom and the U.S. No treaty equals no state of Hawaii. The state of Hawaii government established by an act of Congress is an usurpation of sovereignty during occupation and therefore not only illegal, but constitutes a war crime. I have more. This is a document from HawaiianKingdom.org. Please go look it up for the rest of the information, but let's take a look here. Therefore, a joint resolution is not a ceding of territory, by treaty, but only an opinion or will of the U.S. Congress, the Hawaiian Kingdom was not annexed to the United States and remained an independent but occupied state. I have chills reading this right now. Usurpation of sovereignty is illegally to take by force the sovereignty of another country. International tribunals and national tribunals prosecuted both military and civilians after World War I and World War II for these crimes. The state of Hawaii government established an act of Congress is an usurpation of sovereignty during occupation and therefore not only illegal but also constitutes as a war crime. Unlawful, here are some of the war crimes. Unlawful deportation or transfer of unlawful confinement of a protected person, compelling a protected person to serve the forces of an occupying state, willfully depriving a protected person of the rights of fair and regular trial, extensive destruction and appropriation of property not justified by military necessarily and carried out unlawfully. Take a picture of that. I'll move over, screenshot it, read it for yourself, or go directly to the website. This is the other page on the same website, and there's a list of the actual war crimes if you want to take a screenshot again or go directly to the website. What does this mean? Let's break it down. It's a handshake agreement for the missionaries to take over the land and call it America. Nothing was signed. The fire massacre tells me something big was in play and Hawaii's version of 9/11 to prevent or delay something. Or they will buy up all the land and keep it as a legal loophole because of this. Change governance and laws or hiding spot to keep from getting sent to real U.S. prison. Yesterday I just reported, or 2 days ago, about how Governor Green said that the government is going to take the land in Lahina from the people. This is all making sense now. Hawaii, you should be free. Why are we doing this? Why? The government is supposed to serve the people? Are they serving you right now? All we can see is that they are doing everything to stop you from helping yourselves. The community, the Hawaiians, the Aloha spirit is able to take care of this disaster and help humanity. Help each other with love. One more page. This is to put things in layman's terms for us. Oh, so here's another comment. Correction, between Hawaiian Kingdom and the U.S. Incorporated, when the U.S. Incorporated ceased to exist, so did the treaty. Therefore, the new independent nation of Hawaii, who has zero military and zero ability to protect and defend itself, was attacked. Yes, a war crime. If you're not sure what this is all about, do some digging, but the United States, Washington, D.C., is a foreign occupied place. It is not free. And over the last few years, this has been broken down. There's a lot more to this. If you have links or want to share, I don't have time to research it right now, but this feels like really important news, and I appreciate the person who sent it to me to get this out. What are your thoughts about this? Do you think that Hawaii should be free? I do. Free everywhere. I was thinking this morning, why do we live in a world where everybody has to take power and control? That they have to control other nations, take over other societies. Why are they doing this? For exploitation of their resources? This is not the energy of New Earth, and all of these systems are being broken down and exposed right now. This is really what's happening. Those of you saying, like, stop with the conspiracy theories. These aren't conspiracy theories. These are facts. These are out there. And for New Earth to come, the old system has to be dismantled and fall apart and be exposed. And that's what we're seeing right now. So please get the word out. Please share. Please like. Let others know if you have any other information. I have thousands and thousands of comments and messages to get through, but I will try to get through the ones that we need to see. So again, thanks for the person who sent this to me. I appreciate it because this feels big. This is really important news and information, and I hope that people will understand it on the deepest levels and the implication that this really has.
I gotta tell you, I met with them. I'm also the coroner, for those that don't know that.
He's the coroner too? There's a lot of coincidences happening.
Coming for it all today. This right here, on the morning that this happened, all the kids were sent back home, and most of their parents went to work, and then went to work away from their homes. So the kids got sent back to where their parents weren't even at. And then they put up blockage to allow the parents to come back in to see their kids. You know what? Anybody that's within the government realm of that area needs to be fired. Needs to be fired. You don't play around with children's lives. You don't have the mindset to think properly inside your head when it comes to children and to know that their parents weren't even at home? You couldn't even set up a proper way to get the children all to safety and then later say that we have your children in a safe place? This is horrible. You don't play around with kids. You don't play around with the future. This is not done on accident. How could myself, I'm not even trained in this and I know better. Everybody needs to let go. Everybody needs to get fired.
Shocking. This is literally probably going to go down as one of the worst natural disasters on American soil, but also really one of the greatest mysteries. And it needs to get solved, and it needs to get solved now. Take a look at this. Okay, this is the Hawaii News Now website, and if you look at the date, it is August 22nd. They're talking about the missing people and getting an updated list, but look at this. Look at this. It says, I'll zoom in, the list also includes no identified minors, even though children are among the victims. So of the updated list of 1,054 people, none of them are children? What the hell is that? So they have a list, an updated list from 2 days ago of 1,054 unidentified or unconfirmed people, and none of them are minors? None of them are children? That makes zero sense. The FBI is compiling the list? Yeah, they're reputable. I just don't understand what is going on. I don't understand what the delay is. I don't understand this is insanity, and it's still not being reported. I just got off the phone with someone that didn't even know Maui. They thought Maui was a city. I mean, you see that movie that shows Stranger Things? What is it called? The Upside Down World? This is literally like that. What is going on? It's like the Twilight Zone. This cup, it says, I think it's backwards, but it says better things are coming. At this point, I'm not so sure, but we need to get the word out. This is, I don't understand. Where are the children?
Ensuring that the media and anyone else can't see what's going on here in Lahina, West Maui. There are miles and miles of this black fence going up that was not here before, that is obscuring ground zero and making sure no one can see what's going on inside of there from the road. No one can get in there, no one can take any pictures. And then I've also seen these weird foreign police cars showing up, these special police, I'm not sure what to call them. This is a Nissan, but there's quite a large presence of these standing guard around the perimeter. We've also lost our ability to fly drones really anywhere near this area. Now, this 20-second clip here that I tried to get out of my car and show what was going on, I was almost immediately, after these 20 seconds, National Guard came, chased me off, yelled at me, told me to get back in my car and keep moving. So you cannot pull over. You can't even stop your car anywhere near any of this anymore. Now, I'm going to show you a fairly long clip that shows just how extensive the fencing is on the western side of the main highway here. And there also is National Guard, regular police, and what I have dubbed special police, which are these police cars that are foreign made. The people that are driving them they don't look like any police I've ever seen in the United States, so kind of a bizarre situation, but they have a huge presence, standing guard, ensuring that nothing can be documented. You can't stop your car, you can't pull over, you can't fly a drone, you can't take a picture, you can't get in anywhere near any of this, which is part of what makes the footage that I have so unique. Now, I always make sure to point out that the footage that I have has been uploaded to the mainland to multiple people. They have the credentials to my social media, so if anything does happen to me, it's not going to prevent the story getting out. But the footage I have both on the ground and drone, but particularly on the ground, is not going to be able to be reproduced with the amount of resources they have put into locking this area down. Now, I am working on another video now that's going to show side by side this same drive a week ago, so you guys can compare what it's like now, and you can see just the amount of fencing, rocks, police, barricades, all of the effort they are putting into this. They are putting a lot of energy into it, which is kind of interesting. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on it.
Right here in front of us? Yes, it is. Where that close?
Này ở ngoài tuốt ở ngoài biển ngoài ngoại á. Mấy gì? Ngồi đây có gì? Có gì? Ở ngoài ngoại á, thì nó
When you see it, They burn the third eye and the heart. When you see it, they burn the third eye and the heart.
Realtors, people in the real estate industry, are calling your family and your friends who have lost everything to buy their plots of land.
It is disgusting. We have real estate investors and speculators going around calling our victims, offering to give them cash and buy their property. It is disgusting. It's a land grab, and I know that our Lahina community, we are resilient, and we will do whatever it takes to protect Lahina.
And that's one of the big concerns as they search for the missing and the dead, is that Lahina doesn't lose its spirit, right? That people from the outside don't come and rebuild and turn it into a tourist mecca.
We've already been displaced enough, and we plan to have a seat at the table in rebuilding Lahina and ensuring that the rich cultural history of Lahina is protected.
Neighborhood as it was burning. Now, the man who took this was making a record of which family homes had been destroyed and which ones up to then had survived. We are also seeing new footage of the fire's aftermath released by FEMA as workers carefully search through all the debris. More than 100 people are now confirmed dead. Nearly all of the victims have yet to be identified.
We're hearing disturbing new details about a state resembling martial law and a rescue operation that never arrived. We're talking many people spending several days in the dark, without power, without food and water, before taking matters into their own hands.
Did you know that there are 2 sites in the U.S. that have these directed energy weapons? One is Nevada and the other is Maui. Let's start with this directed energy Air Force Maui optical and supercomputing AMOS site located on the island of Maui. May I quote from the website? Listen to this. Directed energy harnesses the power of the electromagnetic spectrum to enable airmen to effectively and affordably strike critical targets at the speed of light. Question: why Maui? Answer: it's a new smart grid in Hawaii dubbed the, quote, Jump Smart Maui Project.
Just noticed. Look at this. See this line here? See this line where the pin's moving? Now watch this. See the pinpoints? You see the pinpoints? All the pinpoints? Watch. See the pinpoint? See the pinpoint? See all the pinpoints? This is where the fires started. This is the hottest points of the fires. Look at this. See all the grass? See all the trees? See everything is not burnt, but yet it jumped from all of these. See the pinpoints? See all the points? Look at this. To make sure that everything burnt that they wanted to burn. All of the dark black dots. All of the pinpoints.
At what point is the media going to be allowed to start reporting what's really going on?
The question is around access as it relates to media.
So, how many media went with us in on Saturday? Say a raise of hands. Because I'm sure there were many with us. 6 or 8. Because we had a media gaggle with us on Saturday. To suggest that we're not providing access is just simply inaccurate.
Well, we're being turned away.
Well, I'm glad you're being turned away. Feeding your desire to tell a story, you in particular, in this moment, is not my goal. My goal is to make sure people are protected. My people are protected.
Does this seem familiar to you guys? Handpicking media, who can come in, who can't, and then escorting them around with government officials or government employees, showing them what the government wants them to see, and then ensuring that they stay out of the media-free zone. Well, I'm in the media-free zone, and I'm uploading these videos so you guys can see what's actually going on, and I'm doing my best, but it's getting sketchier by the day. And I find all the things that are being said to be kind of creepy, and I find the press conference itself kind of creepy. I mean, if this guy is supposed to be the supreme leader, like, why is it that there's some woman that needs to explain what the question is to him? I mean, can't he figure out what the question is on his own without her restating it and softening it up and having this kind of like buffer between the media and the governor? I mean, why can't he just understand the question and answer it? Everything about this seems not genuine. It seems fake. It seems like they have no interest in really providing any good details. Every interaction I had with government employees, they didn't even want to talk to me, and they would just say they don't have that information. They don't have that information. But it's like, okay, well, what is your job? Like, why are you here? You know, if you work for whoever it is, the mayor, the governor, the police department, and you're giving people these orders, and you're the one interacting with the public, and you don't know anything at all. I mean, who does?
who knows something? And why aren't they talking to us? This is just insanity. I've never experienced anything like this. And it seems like tyranny. And I hope.
Firestone. I know what. There was tornadoes of ash the size of charcoal from a barbecue, like being thrown by baseball players. I'm ducking behind walls. I had to kick in the door at Bubba Gump's to get out of it because I was getting pounded. And then Bubba Gump started on fire, and I'm running down Front Street, and the wall. There's like 80 people, and the ocean was on fire. Firefighter told me because the first layer of ash causes a seal. And then the next layer of ash was all the ambers. So the tide line was on fire, and I had to jump through the water and come up through the fire. And 80 people, they were on the wall. Everybody started jumping in. Coast Guard was out there grabbing people. And I was like, no, I'm good. I was born in the water. I'm a Kai. And they're grabbing people, and I swam. I knew my phone was only good for like 15 seconds being submerged. Then swam for like a half-mile north. It was like nothing you've ever seen. This was bad that the people in their cars that were dead and from asphyxiation and the fire blew out the car, and you just saw the numbers of the dead are so wrong.
Hope that you guys will help me get the word out.
Don't use social media. Don't use social media.
Wow, take a look at how Russia destroyed Ukraine. Oh wait, this is actually Maui, and this is the aftermath of the wildfire that pretty much destroyed one of the most historical towns. And what is the President of the United States doing?
Mr. President, are you going to take questions on Maui?
Can you come talk about Maui? Can you come talk about Maui, Mr. President?
Mr. President, any comments on the virus and death toll on Maui?
Will you come talk about the Hawaii response, Mr. President?
And instead of addressing what happened in Maui first, your president decided to ask for more money to send to Ukraine. Because clearly what's happening outside America is way more important. He's not asking for money to figure out how to rebuild Lahina. He's asking for money for Ukraine. And what's even more sketchy, reports are circulating that Hawaii's robust emergency siren warning system was silent during the entire wildfire. So who turned it off? Governor of Hawaii, Josh Green, no pun intended, was literally at the United Nations 2 months ago bragging about how Hawaii is becoming the first state to be 100% sustainable.
We tried to lead on energy and climate. We were the first state to mandate 100% renewable energy for electricity. So it's, again, an opportunity as a small state with technically a small footprint, but we do punch above our weight a little bit because of our position in the Pacific.
Speakers were invited to help implement the United Nations agenda for sustainable development goals in 2030.
He said, ma'am, I need nothing. My life is now my greatest gift. I have my life.
Okay. Cut the shit, Oprah. Next time, I'm gonna need you to add a little bit more emotion. Second of all, I know you lied. You wanna know how? You said this man was in a fire that was so hot his legs were popping. But when you met him, you asked him, did he need anything? And he said, no, I'm just grateful to have my life. Bitch, I just met Oprah, and you think I'm finna just say that? That's over with. I want a new Bugatti. I want a house in my name. Bitch, I just lost it all. Stop lying, bruh. Then on top of that, you brought these people towels and blankets as if they got wet. Motherfucker, I am scorned, burned, singed, and you gonna bring me a blanket? I'd be pissed off if the first thing I seen getting out of a house fire is Oprah Winfrey, a camera crew, and a goddamn quilt. I'd be pissed off. Hell no, man, this shit unacceptable. You over here you damn near, this is adding insult to injury, Oprah. You ain't bring no aloe vera, no butter, no motherfucking water. Nigga, something to help these folks. You brought blankets. Have you ever been hot? Do you know how mad a motherfucker would get if they hot and you throw a blanket on them? I damn near slap you upside the goddamn head. You do some shit like that to me. Now look, I respect all grandmamas. So Oprah, do know that this is coming from a loving place. Not really. I don't fuck with you. But what I'm saying is, you lying, and that's adding insult to injury to these people that done lost it all. You better give them something. Talking about some they don't want nothing. Why the fuck you buying all that land? Let them get a house in their name. Don't put shit in your name and don't build no tunnel under my house. Yeah, that's the deal.